Okay, let me just get this down. So, okay, so like, Jean and Cyclops are married, right? Jean and Cyclops are married, but like Wolverine likes Jean. He likes her. And Wolverine likes Jean. But like, she's married to Cyclops, so it doesn't matter. But she kind of likes Wolverine too, you know? There's a little something there. But she's married. Okay, this is good. This is really good stuff. But Jean kind of likes him too. Okay, this is great. This is really good stuff. Oh, and you know what? Like, you know Jean's X-Men costume? And like Storm's? And like Colossus's and Nightcrawlers? And like, you know how they're all different? Yeah? We're going to make Cyclops and Wolverine's costumes like the same color. Like blue and yellow. Like the same. What does that matter? Oh, well, because they'll hate that. What do you mean they'll hate it? They will hate that. They're not real people. We're writing them. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blast Arcade Painting. Today we're going to be painting Cyclops and Wolverine from Marvel Crisis Protocol by Atomic Mass Games because they're the same colors and we might as well just paint them at the same time. Disclaimer, these two miniatures are for commission and I did not build them. A friend of mine built them and there are bigger gaps than usual and there's some glue residue stuck to some areas. But hopefully a really good paint job or half decent paint job will hide those imperfections. So this video is about hiding imperfections. Here we go. And like all my Marvel characters, I give them a spray of white and you can see the glue spots here. There's a lot of glue, a lot of extra glue. You can see it on Logan's arm there, and we're gonna do our best. And we're going to take Ducat Blue here to start. And yeah, this is a pretty bright blue, but we're going to shade it down. This is going over all over their outfits that are blue. Again, I always use reference photos. I usually go on AMG's website and check theirs. I'll move through each miniature here, just doing the blue at the same time. So this is sometimes a good way to get things done a little quicker because we're doing the same colors, so we're not really wasting any paint, and we're just working through the same colors on each miniature at the same time, so it just kind of speeds things along. And we're going to take some yellow here, and this is going to go over, yep, all the spots that are supposed to be yellow. Now, I used this yellow, I think I used some of this yellow on Pyro, and it didn't cover very well because I used a Zenithal. But over the white prime, it covers really nicely. This AK Interactive paint is really good. And I mean, Wolverine and Cyclops are primarily yellow and blue. There's a couple other colors we're going to have to do. But for base coats, these are the two main things we're doing. We're going to take some elf skin tone. Now this is going all over their face for Cyclops, and for Wolverine it's going over the part of his face and his arms. So there's some slight differences between the characters. So our next color is Parasite Brown, and it is going on Cyclops' hair. Then we're going to take some Tyran Blue, and this is going over all of the blue that we did. So on both characters, just slam this on there. Again, don't slam, make sure it doesn't pool too much, kind of move it around, but yeah, it's going on the blue. And we're going to take some Fugan Orange here, and it is going all over that yellow we just did. Same thing, don't let it pool too much, just move it around, get it where it needs to go, and yeah, all over that yellow. And we're going to take some Reichland Flesh Shade, and you guessed it, this is going all over the flesh. So, their faces and Wolverine's arms. Now we're moving back to that Ducat Blue, and we're going to do our first highlight up here. So, we're leaving all the recesses dark, and we are just recoloring up those other areas. So just take your time and go through. Again, this AK Interactive paint is really nice, really smooth. I did not have to water this down all that much. So as we move through, we just want to make sure that we're getting that coverage on there, really just taking it to the edges there where there are those recesses where that Tyran Blue settled. So we're going to tint that blue with a little bit of white, and we're just going to go and do our final highlight layer. So as we always do, we want to make sure that we're leaving a little bit of that blue that we just put on before, and just pulling it in a little bit. You know, each highlight is a little thinner and thinner. And we're going to go back to that yellow, and we're going to do the same thing with our yellow here. We're just going to start highlighting that up. So all these raised areas, staying away from the recesses. Now, in the case of Wolverine, he's going to have some black that goes in here, and those are modeled onto the actual miniature, so you can save some time by not highlighting up those areas. And we're going to toss in a little bit of white again, and we're just going to do another highlight on here. This is the same thing we just did with the blue. Just slowly going through, take your time, get those colors down. And we're going to take some Agrax Earth Shade, and we're just going to throw this onto Cyclops' hair. And we're going to take our Amaranth Red, and this is going to go on the belt buckles and the little X symbol here. I apologize for it being out of focus, but I'm not good at this, so that's a little bit better there. Much better. And for Wolverine, it's going to go on his belt buckle, and actually his entire belt is going to be this color. And we're going to take some elf skin tone and some salmon. We're going to start with our elf skin tone and just highlight up the face and the arms, and just give that our first highlight. And I'm being careful as I go through here of just really making sure I don't get it on any of the blue or the yellow. And it's a little bit more work on Wolverine here just because his arms are exposed. But it's the same principle. We're just going to really make sure we don't get it on the other colors at this point. And we're going to add some salmon to that elf flesh, and we are just going to go through and do our final highlight on the skin. Now we're going to take some dark gray blue. I opted for this instead of just the straight black, and we're going to put on all the markings on his shoulders and on his costume and his face mask. And we're going to take some Chainmail silver. Now this is going to go on the buckles of Scott's uniform here. He's got, I believe, 8 buckles in total on each of his boots. This is obviously also going to go all over Wolverine's claws there. Seemed like a good, easy silver to use, not too bright. And we're going to take that Parasite brown, and we're going to do some highlighting up on Scott's hair. As I said in the Omega Red video, hair is a little tricky sometimes. It's more about making it look good. Adding a little bit of white in here and just doing another highlight as well. You don't have to follow that hair perfectly. And we're going to take some Carroburg Crimson, and we're going to use that to shade down the center of those emblems, the X emblems that we put on his belt buckles and also Wolverine's belt. And we're going to take some dead white, and we're going to do Wolverine's teeth here. You could leave it, but I really wanted to do it for whatever reason. And also his eyes. This was very finicky work. I just went as careful as I could. And it takes some Amethyst Alchemy, and this is just for this little piece on Scott's base here. We're just going to throw this all over it. Going to take some Deep Purple and some Express Medium, and we're going to use this as a wash all over this piece of purple Sentinel junk he's standing on. I will put a link in the description below of how I do my Marvel Crisis Protocol bases, and these guys are done. And at the end of the day, these turned out really good. I'm very happy with them. We did what we could to hide the imperfections of the glue, and honestly, if you're not looking super hard or you're looking from tabletop distance, you're not going to notice it. I'm really glad with how they turned out, and more importantly, the person I did the commission for really happy with how they turned out, so that really is all that matters at the end of the day. So what do you guys think? These two are constantly at odds, or at least they used to be. I would imagine maybe they're friends now. I haven't kept up too much with X-Men comics, but they really used to not like each other because of a one red-headed lady who was host to an intergalactic being that could destroy everyone. So sometimes you pick the wrong lady. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these color schemes. Would you do the darker blue Cyclops, or would you do the orange and brown Wolverine? I kind of wanted to do that, but the costume just didn't look right in my mind as to how it was going to work. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of the YouTube stuff. You guys have a great day. It's the scene in the X-Men cartoon show where like Wolverine's just laying in bed looking at a picture. That's weird, and I think it's been used for like a ton of memes, but yeah, it's weird. The X-Men cartoon show was really ahead of its time. Like they were doing like social issues and like dealing with really heavy stuff. Like in the first episode, somebody like one of the characters dies, although comic book dies, he comes back later, but like it was really ahead of its time. Something I did not notice while I was painting this is that Wolverine is ripped. Like Mr. Universe ripped. Like, he's got muscles in his chest that I don't actually think exist in real life. Like, that's how, like, he's pumped. It can't be steroids because I'm pretty sure his healing factor would destroy those.